Magandang umaga. Pakisabi na lang po kung meron kaming audio. Ayan. Pakicheck na lang po kung may audio tayo. I know hindi tayo sanay na nagla-live ako ng ganitong oras because it's immediately after Karambola. But medyo na-excite ako kasi meron kaming nakausap kanina na representative ng NTF LCAC at kina-clarify nila. Good morning, Ma'am Serena. Kina-clarify nila that VP Inday is not the vice chair of NTF LCAC. Instead, she is the co-chair. Ang laki po kaya ng difference nun. So, pagka vice chair ka, second ka. Pag co-chair ka, pareho kayo. Patas kayo nung chair. Diba? So, you're actually sharing the chairmanship. Which means, effectively, since the president is busy, Vice President Inday Sara Duterte is chairing or co-chairing the 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 NTF LCAC. Now, when it was created, ang chair talaga is the president. But as co-chair, she has virtually the same powers as the chairman. So, magandang umaga natin ngayon. Kahapon kasi sinasabi nga natin, Vice Chair, masaya na nga ako noon eh. But now, it means that she gets to oversee the programs of NTF LCAC. And that's not just the anti-insurgency. Kasi yung actual anti-insurgency niyan ay yung, well, it's not just the anti-insurgency pushback, no? Yung which are military functions. So tandaan po natin, ang NTF LCAC, hindi po yan military, purely military function, no? Ang anti-insurgency, ang anti-terrorism isn't relegated, isn't a small program, it's a large one because it includes kasama ninyo yung mga actual combatants, but at the same time you are dealing with officials who will be uh, talking deterrence, prevention, yung mga ganon. If we can treat the insurgency or terrorism as though if it were a disease, at least for comms purposes, as though it were a disease, then we also discuss prevention as well as cure. So, ito yung therefore, the good news is that uh, as co-chair, Vice President Inday is not just implementing, she's not just bound by whatever has already been done. She can actually direct the strategies, direct the programs, and so on. Of course, it will still be based on the input ng mga tao na nasa loob na yung actual yung mga, of course, the military's input is valuable, but then so are the input of the economic managers and so on kasi we're talking about the programs also for deterrence. So, sabi ni BJ, nako, iyak uli ang NDF at CPP. Ay, umiiyak na po sila ngayon pa lang kasi nakikita niya na binabash na siya. Sinasabing number one red tagger, sinasabing uh, whatever, she's her father's daughter, which actually is not a bad thing. So, so yun yung dito. It's a lot, the news, kumbaga, just got better. So she has massive input into the direction. She has massive input in discussing and deciding on the strategies to be used and so on. That will include possibly yung communications to build on what before General Parlade had already begun and so on, di ba? So it will also clarify certain things such as the use of the term red tagging. For example, ang hilig ng mga komunistang to call her a red tagger and so on. But it doesn't exist. Ika nga ni Sec JP, it doesn't exist in our laws. He acknowledges that. It doesn't there is no such crime as red tagging. Diba? So they can call the vice president a red tagger for all we care. But they have to prove that that's necessarily a bad thing or rises to the level of crime. Sabi ni Cheryl Lee Arellano, Good morning. This is really a welcome development. VP Inday has the balls to get things done in this department. Yes, and not just that, she has experience. Kasi wag po nating kakalimutan, nung siya ay mayor ng Davao City, tinutuloy niya pati yung yung strategic responses na ginamit ng father niya as mayor of Davao City to tame the no, 'di ba dati wild south yung Davao City. It took a Duterte to instill discipline in that city. And Mayor Inday took it further using her own indomitable style. Sabi ni Ma'am Apples, when she speaks, everyone listens. She's a true leader. Totoo yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Pinay, ang maganda kay PBBM, ang VP Sara, pareho silang reservists ng AFP natin. They understand what needs to be done as far as the NTF LCAC is concerned. Manginig na ang mga makakaliwa. Sabi ni Sir Eric, ayaw nila ma-red tag pero lantaran na nagbibigay-pugay kay Joma. Hindi, actually, it's even a lot simpler than that. If red tagging is such a bad thing, they have to explain. Diba? Why? Kasi in this country, communism is not illegal. We have no anti-subversion act. We have a terrorism law, an anti-terrorism law. But there is no, it's not a crime to be a communist. So if you're called a communist, why would that necessarily be a crime if you really are one? Diba? At sila, sinasabi nila, they uphold the economic theories, the communist ideals, whatever. Okay, sige. Pwede naman kayong makilahok sa public discussions about economic policy, about the virtues of communism, whatever. It's not a crime. If being red is not a crime, then how can red tagging be one as well? Diba? Sabi ni Ma'am Lourdes, timing po ang pagiging co-chair ni Vice President Inday. True. Although, I also see this as a communication strategic response of the President, tactical response of the President. Kasi, in the last few days, may mga sabi-sabi na he has been attacking the former president and so on. So former President Duterte actually was online last night and saying na no, he respects the President BBM. He says that tama yung pagta-travel niya at ano pa ba yung mga inano niya, in-affirm niya. So sabi niya, I don't want to second guess you as president because I was president also. He disagrees with the policy but on everything else, well, every other significant thing, he has upheld yung mga decisions ng ating Pangulo ngayon. Di ba? So, pero, the public needs to be addressed. May mga nagsasabi, tinitira na si dating Pangulo, tinitira ang presidente, ang Duterte. So, to show the trust of the president and in the capabilities of our vice president, as well as in her ability to turn things around and to finish off what had been begun in the previous administration, making her co-chair of the NTF LCAC is a brilliant move. Diba? Ito, iniintay natin, ano ba ang nagagawa? We're so dissatisfied with some of the non-accomplishments of some of the agency heads and department heads. But on this, we cannot fault President BBM for this move. It's a well-timed and an excellent move, putting the vice president there. Diba? In something that she can be completely hands-on. Well, hands-on as far as being the co-chair. Hi kay Ma'am Imelda, sabi niya, ay salamat naka-live ako. Good morning there. Nighttime here, you look gorgeous. Delight to look at, great to listen to, pacifying, calm, cool, and collected. Yes, but today I'm also excited at the designation of the Vice President as co-chair of the National Task Force to Eliminate Local Communist ano ba yan? Armed conflict. I keep thinking it was an E. Yan. So ulit. National Task Force to Eliminate Local Communist Armed Conflicts. Actually, I would prefer it wasn't just an NTF LCAC. Prefer ko na lahat ng armed conflicts na yung mga insurgency related. Yan, terrorist related because well,